Good evening, morning, afternoon, freaks and geeks. This is Reluge. Welcome to another Rating All Monsters. This time, I'm doing Fossil Fighter Vivosaurs. Now, if you don't know what Fossil Fighters is, it was a game on the DS where you fight with dinosaurs called Vivosaurs. If you find their skull, you actually fully revive the dinosaur. And finding like the arms, the body, and the legs would increase their power and give them new attacks. Basically, you would go through the different levels using your radar to find like buried objects and dig up fossils. The interesting part was like you got to actually dig through the fossils to uncover the bones, and if you like hit the bone with like your driller or hammer, it would actually damage the bone, which would cause the overall grading score of your dinosaur to be lower. And this game was a lot of fun. Albeit, a lot of the graphics and even the story, at least with the first game, was a bit shaky. Yes, I played the first game when it came out. I mean, it's a dinosaur game. About, a monster taming dinosaur game. I had to play it. But then the second game came out soon after. I wasn't able to pick that one up. But I did not know about Frontier. So, as I'm putting together the other projects of monster rating, I was thinking of like what other games that aren't as popular as like Pokemon and Digimon can I do. And Fossil Fighters came to mind. And yes, I'm still working on the Digimon one. That requires me playing through the recent games. I don't want to get spoiled, so that's going to sit there for a minute. It's almost done, though. So, here's my thoughts on Fossil Fighters. So, with this one, I decided I'm going to start, obviously, with the first game. I'm gonna have like the little stand, and then their coins next to it. And as you see throughout, I've designed the page layout a little better as I was going on. I didn't go back and fix it. I fixed some of it. But they used pretty much the same models for the first two games. I think with the exception of the T-Rex and the two legendaries. I think with those they decided to improve their model just a little bit. But then the third game, all of them got a remake. So, if the dinosaur happened to be in the third game, I'm added a second little stand for them, and I have their second model there, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the difference between them. Also, I found out 98% of these dinosaurs are actual dinosaurs that's been found. Like, I mean, obviously T-Rex, but like Gorgo, I thought that was just a random like word sounds they put together. Also Tarbo, Electro. I mean, that almost sound like electricity. And Shan Shan, that sound like a Pokemon name to me. But no, all of them, like, the names are abbreviations of the actual dinosaurs, and I think that's actually kind of cool. So, I decided to put them in the order of the number in their compendium. So, without knowing about Frontiers and doing the research and grabbing the sprites from it was like the fandom Wikipedia page. I grabbed the pictures that they had up there, cut them out like they did like the picture of like in the kind of like the medallion, but it was like their actual battle sprites, so I decided to use it. I cut it out and I put it on top of their little stands. So, like, you notice that the model is pretty much similar between the different type of dinosaurs. Like, you got your T-Rex kind of, and then there's the Velociraptor. Which the redesign is interesting. I don't know so much about like showing like the bone in the rib cage as part of the design, but I do like how they look more fierce. Like they looked like they wanted to rip your face off and eat it. Especially the Giganto. Notice, like, these guys seem to be, like, a bigger mouth type of dinosaur. I like what they did with Cryo. They more of made him towards a raptor than a T-Rex. I'm a little disappointed they didn't have Spinax, though. He was one of the cool ones. Same thing with Neo. Also, Compasaurus. I mean, that's almost a staple in, like, a lot of dinosaur games lately. But I do like their updated Raptor models. Those guys look fantastic. Especially the U-Raptor. I really like the design of the U-Raptor in both. Also, the M-Raptor's kind of cool too. I like his little tail. Reese's not right now. Come on, Reese's. Well, so the dinosaurs like the Dilopho, I kind of like their updated models as well. And like I said, I haven't played Frontier yet, and I'm really excited to play it. That almost looks like color from Spore. Oh, and they didn't do an Onyx in the third one. That's really disappointing. He was really cool. Same thing with Carno. I also I love the improvement of the Brachiosaurus. Because before it's like all the Brontosaurus ones had like their heads down. It looked dumb. It was almost like those old toys where they had to have like the neck turned around. Like it's looking the other way constantly just so they can fit it on the mold. But the Purcell looking like a cityscape, that was genius. I loved it. That was really, really cool. Xeno's interesting. It's got those long claws going on. Which again would have been cool. They did a updated model for that. Oh god, that is a little irritating. Okay, so what I did with the names, I have it on like a type tool, like typing out like a text on the line so that it would go with the curve. For some reason, with Apato and Amargo, it looks like the lettering is jumbled up or bouncing. It really isn't. What's going on is like it's following the line, and the G's still following the line. Same thing with the P. But because they got the little tail going on, it's hanging down and almost off the stand. So it looks like it's all jumbled up. Oh, that's... Django did that too. That is obnoxious. Huh, so, I know it's like, oh, the Stegosaurus looks cool, that looks cool. I kinda did not like how underwhelming the Ankylosaurus looked. But again, the Ankylosaurus is my favorite dinosaur, so... that would, just... I can't think of the words. They didn't stand up to my standards. Because Ankylosauruses are cool. Especially the Goyle. That seemed like kind of a downgrade. Especially the Parasaurolophus. Because their whole focus is like that beak thing. But they just made them look derpy. So annoying. The Iguanodon's alright. But the Pachycephalosaurus types look pretty badass. I really love the updates. And the Triceratops looks amazing as well. All except for Mihu. I liked how they did it before, where the horns looked like blades. He now has one horn that almost looks like a blade. I like the shield though. Of course, the pterodactyls are good. I mean, they were kind of underwhelming before. Really can't wait to play Frontier. Question of the day. If you played all three, which one was your favorite? I'm a little sad that this whole page was not done in the third game. Like, you got staples here, like a Plesiosaurus, a Mammoth, a Smilodon. Not a saber-toothed tiger, though, strangely. I mean, it's like, how could you miss these guys? Especially the Plesiosaurus. Why'd you drop him? Oh, also, I forgot, if you're not, if you don't know the game and don't know what these different colors are representing, unless you've already figured it out, they're the different elements, like water. Strangely, yellow is earth and green is air. I would have had it the other way around. In fact, when I was a kid, I did this element coin game where the colors were switched around. Green was earth and yellow was air. Which is why, like, I was going through, like, putting them down. I kept thinking, like, yellow's air, green is earth. No, it's mixed. It's swapped around for some reason. Ah, that's annoying. And the white is just neutral. And they even had, like, the sloth. And this guy's even cool. And a turtle. They didn't have those in the third game. And this would be like the end part. We got our legendaries. Like, you got the three main villains of the game. Here's Phrygian Igno, which I'm using the second game sprites for. Which, these here weren't real dinosaurs. We got little chicks, which is like kind of like the Mew of this game is whatever. And then you got like the alien, not really spaceships, but they're like little alien heads that you fight at the end of the game. They're like the end boss. You don't actually get them. So, on to champions. What I did not know about the champions is that they've had evolutions a lot better than what they did before. I don't know how they're done, but in the first game there was like 4, maybe 5 smaller dinosaurs. Like, as their attack, they turn into the bigger dinosaur, but you can still get the bigger dinosaur anyway. So, with the dinosaurs that has a higher, like, evolution form, I have their previous form in the background kind of faded a little. And I did not know the Oraptor would change it to something that fierce looking. It's kind of... Giga Aloe, though, looks freaking amazing. And I did decide for the second game, because all of the dinosaurs in the first game made over to the second game. So, what they did, with the exception of like the legendaries here, they just started the number again, like what they did in Pokemon. So I'm just going to continue the numbers from there. So they started, because like they had like the evolutions right next to the ones that they evolved from. I have all the evolutions first, at least with the older ones. I just noticed your arrows, and I keep thinking it's like, wasn't there an arrows before? But no, what I'm thinking of, maybe Cerato? Yeah. I was thinking of Cerato. Or maybe even Neo. Oh, and some, like, the Plesiosaurs evolve into little baby forms. I hate that. Now, the Ankylosauruses, though, they're amazing. Or those all... Yeah, that's Ankylosaurus. Stegosaurus. those guys are amazing, especially the Raiden. That is awesome. Uh, oh, and the Papigon is great. Oh, and the Iguanodon also evolved into a baby form. That's just, in my opinion, that's kind of silly. Oh, the Plesiosaurus got turned into Kaizen. I mean, they're just amazing. I really love that. So, the newer dinosaurs, starting with Arrows. Some of the newer dinosaurs, like Arrows, still gets an evolution, which I find to be interesting. And then, of course, they still got some dinosaurs that goes into the third game. Which I find interesting because Raja's here. He gets the evolution of the Giga Raja, and then he appears in the third game without the Giga Raja. Poor Giga Raja. It's okay. We shall remember you. Crypto kind of looks badass. He almost looks like an Anubis dinosaur. And I just think that's funny and hysterical, and I love it. And of course, they got new raptors. I forgot this dinosaur existed. It's what I've come to describe as the N-word dinosaur. Because it literally does have the N-word in it, in the name. But that's because where it's discovered, I think the sea was like Nigero. Yeah. Or probably Nigero now I think of it. I'm slaughtering that and I am so sorry. People are gonna hate me. But I'm sorry, that's what I discovered. So, unfortunate naming. That one's almost a camel. The Sidon looks amazing in the second and the third game. That is just spectacular, and I love the crap out of it. Same thing with the Argento. Oh, the Chasmosaurus, the one that has the kind of like the frill, but from what they could tell, it doesn't have anything in between, which I think it might actually have had. It might have been cartilage or skin that like had decayed through time, or maybe it's just like plates that they didn't find. Oh, Naito is the start of the golden forms. If you found like a special skull, it would be that instead of that. I think this one was called Necto Ace. I don't know why I didn't do it as its other, like a separate thing. But later on, the other dinosaurs, I think the other dinosaurs do that, or was that the only one? But, oh yeah, the Lugmos. The Lugmos was the golden fossil of the Dimetrodon. which is cool. So yeah, I don't know why I didn't do his as a different stand, but I did the other ones. I marked it with the golden skull. Gump and Anon. That's just really weird. Oh yeah, and they had the prehistoric deers as well, which again did not make it into the third game for some reason. And they had the Titanus. Forgot what the dinosaur was called. What the piggy dinosaur? The Machi's pretty cool. A lot of like dinosaurs they didn't put in the third game. And it would have been cool if they did. Here's another golden fossil. Now, these guys are kind of cool. The Tanstro, the Pendon. They got like the snake. Coelacanth and the Dunkel. Those two are pretty freaking cool. I remember this dinosaur board game I had. It had the Dunkelosaurus in there. Or Dunkelodon? I can't remember what it was called. And then you got like the what are they called? Urchins? I can't remember what they're called. But they've had this guy is really cool. Terata. That thing's kind of silly. But then they had the bone versions of some of the dinosaurs. That's kind of cool. I don't know how you get them in the game, but that's kind of cool. And then, like those guys are like actual bone colored, but then the Plesiosaurus, Triceratops, and the Jara are all different colored. And then zombie T-Rex, a zombie Triceratops, a zombie Pterodactyl, a zombie Elasmosaurus, and I have no idea what that is. It's a Zonga Zonga, apparently. And then you have the Salada, which are all pretty freaking cool. I'm pretty sure those are like secret or like legendary dinosaurs, but they're freaking amazing, especially the Zonga Zonga. I'm betting that's like a boss. And then on to Frontier. And you know, I realized something. It's like putting this together took a lot more time than me just talking through it. I think I made that same realization with Pokemon. So I got a little confused with the Frontier one. So we noticed I got T-Rex Sue and a T-Rex Stan. But if you notice, the T-Rex wasn't in the third game. But that's because they had the T-Rex Sue and the T-Rex Stan. And instead of like the Allosaurus, they have the big Allo. The Lythro here, he's kind of cool. So, and I'm assuming the gray is a null. So, and then there's Allo PT, which I am just very confused. Because I have Allo here. But then Allo PT, Cerato. They have a Spino ST. I really don't know what is up with that. Then down here you have a Titano and a Titano AR. Brachio TZ. Is that like the different places? Because iguana here has iguana US, which if it's the different places, that would mean like the United States. But then I can't figure out what the TZ is, or the MN, or the BO. It's just putting this together, it was really confusing. Also, the fandom that I looked up didn't have any information on that. I even looked it up. There was no, like, reason for the differences between them, except besides the type. Which is slightly annoying to me. Not because it's confusing me, but it's like, they're exactly the same thing, even down to the name. Except for this has a US at the end of it. I kind of feel like that was a missed opportunity. Because before, the main reason why I loved it is, like, they had similar models, but they each had a different style to them. It's not like just a completely different recolor. Like, down here, the Iguanodon and the Lophus, they both were pretty much, they looked the same. But, like, the Lophus has a duckbill on it, with a little crest coming off of it. And the Iguanodon has, like, the little thumbs coming off the side, and it has a little frill on. No, that's not a frill, that's part of my background. But you get what I'm trying to say. There's slight differences, and those slight differences gave them their own, like, personality. But then you just go and just do recolors, which is not what this game was about. And I was just so sad and disappointed to see that they did that. So, in a way, they do have stuff like the Allosaurus in here. Just like Allopt, Big Allo. I really don't know. And the BO, it sounds like body odor. MN screams mountain to me. I really don't know. But that Sinocera is freaking killer. I love that. And it's just... Oh, and the Earth Dragon. They have an Earth Dragon. And the photo I found was cut off. If I ever do get around to playing this, I'll try to get like a better screenshot of it. But it's like, I have the same gripe about the UT. There's a Pyro, Arrow, Geo, and Hydro. Is there just recolors, and it's annoying. But when I came across the Vivosaurs, I was like, wait. Not only that's obviously a complete, like, fabricated dinosaur, but they threw the word Saurus in there. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. And then Lunchsaurus? Wait. Is this an evolution of the Vivosaurs? And then Chompsaurus, and it's like... Did the, fossil fighters turn Pokemon on me? And then Crimson Ravager. Like, yeah, it's an evolution line, and I love it. I'm all for this. If they do a new game, and they go this route, I personally won't be mad. That would be cool. And then Earth Dragon obviously is a legendary, and then the Dreadsaurs, which is cool. But then I run into these guys. they have this textures of these dinosaurs of what they most likely would look like. It's like, this is what you think that they are. And I love it. And then they have like the Xenodius Cargostrogula and the Dreadraven. Dreadraven's amazing. I bet you these are like either the boss or these also evolve. I don't know. But then it's like they only had 3 of the interesting skinned dinosaurs. So, what I've done in the past, while doing my reviews here, I decided to do my own thoughts on it. Like, what if they did a new game? I did it for like Skylanders. Technically, I did it for Pokemon, but that was such a large, like, document that I made. I had to do it different. I don't know if I'm going to complete it, because I have a lot of ideas for that. But, did for Skylanders. I had, like, my idea for the Voodoo Doll for the Summoners Wars. So, I have a suggestion for this one. I would love to see a new game. I didn't implement a evolution idea. I still think that would be cool, but I was thinking, what if, like, the null element would be pretty much these guys. So, to further explain, I actually do have it down. Like, you would have the Tyrannosaurus. That would be, like, pretty much the king meat eaters. Like, pretty much, they would be, like, have the massive jaws. They would have little tiny arms, which I still think they're wings, by the way. Like, the T-Rex was the dragon. It's just the reason why it's little tiny arms is because that's the only thing that either they find or that survived with their massive wingspan. Anyway, so you would have, like, the normal Tyrannosaurus, and then you would have the T-Rex, which would be the fire version of it. Electro for water, Carno for the wind, or earth, and arrows for the air. So you would have pretty much what I would consider the icon of that type. And then you would have one element, like one from each element. So Triceratops, instead of being water, it would be null. Oh, and if you disagree with me having like the Tyrannosaurus and the T-Rex here, that's fine. Just let me know which fire, pretty much, like I said, King Meat Eater do you think would fit instead? So, Triceratops. The wind would be Chasmo. Water, Berta. Of course, the fire is going to be the Sinocera, because that's just freaking amazing. Now, what I've done, if the element would change, like me who used to be the null, I would switch it to the earth. So he would be earth type now. You would have like the Velociraptor, which, of course, this one would be the change to the null. And then for the fire, it would be Nitrous. Wind would be M Raptor. Water would be the Lofo, and Earth would be Lagia, changed from fire to Earth. I think it was because I couldn't find a good like Earth Raptor one. And then the Sura Poseidon would be the null Brachiosaurus. Poseidon, water. Diplo would be earth. Amargo, fire. Titano would be changed to wind. And then the Gogostrokia would be... This... I don't know how to describe it. But this would be more of like... kind of like the smaller form of the T-Rex. And like the Allosaurus, they would actually have like bigger arms that would... I can't describe it. But it's like the underdogs of the King of the Meat Eaters. But pretty much the Allosaurus bracket. But I made the Allosaurus from earth to fire. And I had Taro there because he's freaking awesome. And then Stegosaurus, he would get turned from the wind to null. And then Yango would be fire. Giango would be the water. Kentro, wind. And Lexo is the earth. And then we have the long-nailed raptors, which is Xenodias for the null, Alcaz for fire, Singo for the wind, but for the earth or the wind in the water, I went and searched up some new dinosaurs. Now, I would go through and draw all of them, or I would do like a little photograph of like what the dinosaur is, but for this I did not go through to do that. Mainly because I think like to go with like the normal or the norm, whatever, pretty much they would look like their other forms, just with like different attributes. So, and how I named them, I took off the last bit, like Dawn or Saurus, Raptor. Like, I believe this is the Theroraptor. I believe. I should have written that down, but I didn't, so screw me. So, next one, Ankylosaurus. Coil would be the wind. Peltos the earth. Saichan's the fire, and Eoplosaurus would be the water. I can't remember what it was, what it looked like, but it looked, the bones looked interesting. Spinosaurus, pretty much, they all would have something like a frill on their back, pretty much. There'd be like the little water, like alligator type of dinosaur. So Spinax would be the wind. And Gato would be the water. Beckles would be go from the wind to fire. And then I would have Therosaurus as the water. I believe he's actually on all fours. Almost like a Dimetrodon. Then Oraptors, I decided to change the Epidex from Wind to Earth, and Titanius from Null to Water. And then we have the Dimetrodon line. It would have Adaphios as the Wind. But then the Earth, Fire, and Water, I would have to go and find new people. The Pachyosaurs got the Stiga, Gyro, and the... I did decide to have the Parasaurolophus and the Sinteo as part of the Patchy's line. I was going to have them be their own thing. But to be honest, I couldn't find many dinosaurs like these guys. So it was like, throw Parasaurolophus and the Sinteo as part of the Pachycephalosaurus. They got stuff on their heads. It counts. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what two dinosaurs would go for the Pachysaurus instead. And then we got the Saber-Tooth Tiger, which I'm really surprised they didn't have him. But they had the Machi, the Smilodon, which I turned to Earth, Paxi, and the Hoplo. Really surprised they didn't have this. That was like the Smilodon before there was a Smilodon. And then you got them Mammoth, or the woolly mammoth, which also had the Comp, or the Gomp, the Anon. And then I went and found some more like large like elephant type. They're not exactly like woolly mammoth types, but they're still like, they look mammalish. The Emembello and Curver. And the pterodactyls, which is like your basic flyers. These guys, they're not the Parasaurolophus types. It's more of like the duck-billed dinosaurs, like Ducky from land or just like Ducky from Land Before Time. So you got the Amaru, which I figured would be the head, because that's pretty much the duck-billed dinosaur that I was thinking of. The Lophus, Paco, or Pacro, Loro, and Lambio. I figured they would look more like these two. Plesiosaur, which I'm actually really surprised that he didn't really fully go into. So I turned Elasmo from water to wind, Futabi from water to fire, and then I found Tanystrope and Amabello, which are long-necked swimmers. I believe the Earth one was the one that had the massively long neck, and then he looked amazing, so I made him the Earth. And then, pretty much, the, I threw in, they're the dinosaurs that didn't fit anywhere else. So the snake, the Megalodon, Ezrith, Palator, and I decided with Acacian. I know it was an evolution of a Plesiosaurus, but god damn it, that design is so friggin' badass. I just wanted to include it. And then we got our, cephalopods. Yeah, cephalopods? I think that's what they're, the whole premise is called. So I decided it's like the Cadres, the lead of this one. Got the Pendum, which I changed from Earth to Air. The Terata, which is almost the Trilobite. You have to have the Coelacanth. And then, like, the Turtle. So, that's my thought process on a fourth game, if they're to do a fourth game. And also, having the evolutions would be kind of interesting too. But what would you think? Do you have anything that you would have done instead? Do you think the idea is just dumb and the game should just be just 3 games? Oh, let me know in the comment section down below. Be nice with each other. Every person has their own opinions, and every single opinion is valid, even if it's wrong. So, click on whichever like you think is appropriate for this video. Subscribe if you want to see more of these monster ratings. Or just let me know if you think they're dumb, and I'll still continue doing them, because I'm having fun putting them together. And I'm having fun giving my thought process on it. So, just let me know what you think. And until next time, keep digging.